Okay, students, so this is the leaf demo video, so I'm going to show you how to draw your leaves for your Zentangle leaf project. You will need a piece of paper, you may need a pencil sharpener, you're definitely going to need some black markers. I specifically like using Sharpies, and I've made sure that I've got some regular Sharpies and some fine point Sharpies as well. But if you have just a regular black marker, that's fine. Pencil and eraser as always, and a blank piece of paper. So I highly suggest that you keep your paper in portrait orientation, so that's when it's straight up and down like this. And we are going to draw 2 leaves on this piece of paper. So the examples are in the slides, so you can look at them there if you need to. But I'm going to go ahead and start drawing now, so you should get your pencil. And feel free to pause this video at any time if you feel like I'm going too fast. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a leaf at the bottom of the page going this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a line starting here almost at the corner, but I'm going to start a little bit from the corner like this. And this is going to be the stem of that first leaf. So you can see it gets a little bit closer together here. Now I'm going to continue this line just like this. Let me scoop my paper. And you can see it's kind of like a diagonal line, but it's got a little bit of a curve to it. I'll make it a little bit longer. So if you've ever looked at a leaf, most of them have a line going right through the middle, right? That kind of follows the shape, like splits the leaf in half. So that's what this line is here. So I'm going to do a bunch of curvy lines because this is going to be a curvy leaf. So I'm going to curve up and around and out. So I've got one little part of the leaf there. And I'm going to start to go off the page a little bit. So I'm just going to space over here, curve this way, and then curve back out. And then I'm going to do a little tiny curve, go back in, do another little tiny curve. So those 3 curves look like they're together. So there's like one little piece of the leaf. Then I'm going to go down a lot. So I'm kind of going diagonal with my line work. Back around. I'm going to do another set of some curves like that. They're not going to be exactly the same, but they'll be pretty similar. Now I also want you to notice as I'm doing this, I'm making sure I kind of follow this line. I'm staying fairly close to this line. I don't want them way out here, and I also don't want them too close because we want to make sure we have room inside our leaf. Then I'm going to do a big one up there. So if you're looking at this, you can see it's starting to look like a leaf. So now we're going to try to do something similar on this side. Down and then you notice the leaf kind of follows its own pattern too. It has these little sections of curves, and then it goes down a lot and then back up. And we have one leaf. And I'm going to go ahead and extend my center line all the way to the tip of that one. Okay, so it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to scoop my paper a little bit so you can see it better. And I'm going to do another leaf, and it's going to go the other way. And if your leaves are not quite as big as mine, that's completely fine. So I'm going to start by drawing the stem. I'm going to make my stem like hit right at the top of that other leaf we just did. Then I'm going to draw the center line of the next leaf, and I want it to go this way towards this top left corner of the page. Okay, so notice how I gave it a little bit of a curve. So we're going to start down here at the bottom, right where the stem meets that line. And I'm gonna curve that way. Make a bunch of wavy lines. And then I went down, but now I'm gonna go out this way because I know that the leaf needs to wrap around like that. Go down, so I've got one section, and then I'm gonna go down a bunch, make another little section. I think this one's gonna go off the page a little bit. You can see how I did that there. Up to the top, I'm gonna hit that top of that line right there. Then I'm gonna start on the other side. So I'll move my arm so you can see that top side. So it's pretty similar to down here. Lots of wavy lines. You can see all the little sections of the leaf. We got one piece and another piece. Same thing going on here. And you could actually find a leaf in your backyard or wherever and look at it and notice that most of them do have certain sections to them, unless they're one of the leaves that are just, you know, one solid piece. But a lot of them have these sections like this. Go down. So notice how these parts are kind of mimicking each other, so they're very similar. Okay, so that leaf is done. So both of our leaves are done, the outline, but we know that we need to add different sections inside the leaf. So if you've ever looked at a leaf, you probably can see a big line down the middle, and you probably see a lot of little veins or lines going through to the edge. So I'm gonna start with this bottom leaf, and I'm just gonna start at the center line, and I'm gonna do lines going outward. So yours don't have to be in exactly the same spot as mine, but I'm just taking my pencil and starting on the center line and going outward, and I'm kind of making curved lines, slightly curved anyways. The same thing with this top one. Okay, so we've got the different sections of the leaf. Now we know the background is going to have different sections as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue these lines that I did on the leaf, but whenever I start drawing back here, instead of keeping them fairly straight like I did on the leaf, I'm going to make them a little wavy so they look a little bit different. So I'm going to take my fine point Sharpie and I'm going to do some little swirls in this bottom one. And then I could take my regular Sharpie and I could do some wavy stripes in this one. I'm gonna make them a little bit thicker. just so they stand out from the other lines. And then I'm gonna do some polka dots up here. Now notice using different kinds of Sharpies, the regular and the fine point, gives the lines a little bit different feel. So this one's much thinner than these. Let me think, what other patterns can I do? I'm gonna do some scales. So there's lots of different patterns you can do. Now obviously I'm not finished because I would fill in all these different patterns on the different parts of the leaf with you know, all different kinds of patterns that I want. And in the background you're going to add color. So I'm going to leave it up to you on what you use to color the background. I'm going to give you 3 options, and those options are colored pencil, marker, or crayon. I'm going to use marker. I have this set of markers here, and you can color the background with any colors that you want. You can do all different colors like one of the examples that was in the slides, or you can even do a pattern of colors in the background. So you could do, you know, green and blue and green and blue and green and blue, or if you wanted to do lots of different colors, you could. So you don't necessarily have to have a pattern of colors in the background, but you can if you want. So you'll just color in each section. So you can see when I did my lines, it made this little shape here. And I'm not making this perfect right now. It doesn't have to be, just to show you what it might look like. So, and then this next section, I'm gonna add some purple, some light purple. I'm gonna make sure y'all can see it. And then if I wanted to do just a 2-color pattern, then right here, I would have green again, which is up to you. Like I said, you don't have to do a pattern of colors in the background unless you want to. I just wanted to make sure I did point that out for people that wanted to do a pattern. And maybe I decide I don't want a pattern, and so I'm just gonna pick a whole different color. I'm gonna make this orange over here. And so I would fill in this whole section here orange. Okay, so you can see, you know, once you get the outline of everything done, you get to use a lot of your creativity to come up with the different patterns inside the leaves and to come up with how you're going to use the colors in the background. So once you have all the patterns in the leaf done and all the colors in the background, your drawing will be done. It will be ready to submit to me for a grade along with your artist statement.